we found out is it is the fan clutch that's causing the problems, making the sound that we're hearing, and it's consuming a lot of the diesel fuel. Supposedly you lose about 20 to 25% horsepower if you let this thing go. In my case, it didn't stop working where it doesn't spin at all. Mine seized and spins all the time. So we're heading into winter in the Northeast, and it's going to start getting cold out here, and that means my engine's probably not going to warm up, so I need to get this thing done. We're going to crawl underneath right now. I'm going to show you how this thing does not move. Supposedly you're supposed to be able to use 2 to 3 fingers with one hand and be able to spin this thing, but not so freely. Remember, it's a clutch. It's supposed to engage when it reaches a certain temperature, cool your engine down, then shut back off again. So here we go down. Okay, you tell me. Okay, so I'm supposed to take 2 to 3 fingers and I'm supposed to spin this thing freely. And if you can see, it takes a little more than 2 fingers. I have to use the whole hand actually to try to spin this thing. And then it does start spinning a little bit freely like that. But now here's the thing. Now I can probably use 3 fingers. Nope, not even. Now here's the thing. It's supposed to spin both ways just as easy. But when I try to spin it the other way, I would end up probably breaking the fan altogether trying to spin it the other way. It does not spin. It is locked up. It is bunched. So here's what we're going to do. I don't know if I mentioned, this is a 2002 E-350 with a 7.3 diesel in it. Alright, let's go. Yo, let's start taking the air housing off. Hey, what's up? Be back in a few minutes. The local, friendly local mailman right there. Really should have something to hold these screws. I'm probably going to end up losing a couple, so let's hope I don't. What we can do here. Right. Alright, so now the next thing that we gotta do, looks like we have some air conditioner lines, Freon lines that run across the shroud, so I'm gonna have to move these out of the way somehow without messing them up. Did not realize that was gonna be the case, but it is. How do you get this one out? You actually gotta pop the damn thing off. Okay. It's always fun. See if I can pop this off with my hand. Of course I can't. Ready? Okay. Alright, so here we are. I got myself a little needle nose pliers. Seems that I gotta pinch this little thing over here and then lift up. Hopefully that works. Sorry, I can't get my hand out of the way. Alright, so now we just gotta move the air conditioner hosing out of the way. Next thing I want to do is I gotta see where down there the nut is. So I'm just gonna get a light and see if I can see where this thing is, because it looks pretty tight down there, I gotta admit. And I don't see it. I'm gonna be honest with everybody. I don't see a way to get to that nut. And
this is a problem for me, because I'm supposed to be able to get to remove that fan clutch. This is the fan right here. The clutch is attached to it, and I have no way, there's no way for me to be able to get in there to even attach a wrench or anything. At the very most, I mean, it would be such a minor part of it that I could grab. Wow, no joke. That is really skinny. The nut is right there. I don't know if you can see it with the camera, but the nut is basically behind the fan, and the fan, how the part of the fan covers the majority of the nut. Like, I would seriously have to be able to get some sort of a skinny tool in there and just lock it on there just enough to be able to get that thing off. I believe that is the nut that I'm looking at down there. I don't know if you guys can see it from what I'm looking at, but it looks like I'm gonna have to take a ride to a store around the AutoZone. They do rent a tool. It's a very skinny, it looks like what I would need, a very skinny wrench that would fit right around that nut, and then somehow I'm going to have to figure out how, not sure just yet, but how to keep that pulley from moving and get that thing off. All right, AutoZone it is. Okay, so we've been at this project here for close to 2.5 hours, closer to 3 hours even. Figure it out. We got the fan released, we got it off the truck itself. I'm going to show you what we did. We took a ride to AutoZone and we got these pieces over here. Now this is something that we rented from AutoZone. It charges, I think it was like 20 bucks to rental. The wrench that we used was a 1 7/8 wrench. We tried using this piece right over here to hold the pulley in place. That's what you're supposed to do, but there is no way to get this thing in there. It does not fit. It does not line up. The damn thing was slipping all over the place. Let's go back over there. We'll show you the wrench. Oh God. All right, so this is a 1 7/8 wrench. It came with that kit that we that I just showed you over there before. In this case, with the E-350, with this Superduty E-350, the fan itself, the casing for the fan covers the nut that you have to be able to get this on. So we had to get, in order to get this on, I had to go kind of on an angle and just got enough of the meat on it to be able to grab. And then I'll show you what else we did, because this was impossible. We ended up having to remove the belt. We removed the upper radiator hose. We removed the air supply to the turbo and pushed it back because that was completely in the way. Get under there and I'll show you exactly what we did and how we were finally able to get this thing off. I'm going to take this with me right now. Alright, so what we ended up doing, there's the pulley that the fan is connected to. Alright, it's bolted to. The big friggin' nut that with the wrench that we used to remove it. What I did is I took a vice grip and I clamped it down to the back of the pulley, and then there's a nut right here on the engine, right there, and I have the end of the vice grip, as you can see, resting against it. I didn't want to go in against the sensor that we have all the way back there. I believe that's the cam position sensor. I'm not exactly sure on that, but I believe that's what that is back there. And then we were able to go from the top. My son was able to put the wrench up there and little by little turn the darn thing. And let me tell you, at first it did not release quite. We had to come down here, release this wrench right here and spin the fan a little bit, put the wrench again on there, tighten this back down, and then eventually we were able to loosen it up, and the fan is now officially off. We're gonna go on ahead and pull it out, and then we're gonna see about getting a new one of these, putting it back together, and we'll get back to you once we get that new fan, because we weren't even sure we were gonna be able to get this darn thing off with the way the setup is. And we've seen a lot of people have a lot of issues with trying to get these things off, and I understand exactly why that is. It is a fight getting these things off. So we'll be back to you.
Well, you have to explain too the reason that this is a little easier is because we didn't take the radiator off. I was reading online that a ton of the reviews that people were saying with the E-350s here is take the radiator off, take the radiator off. We were able to do it without doing any of that. All we did was release the belt. We released the serpentine belt, put the vice grip down there to hold the pulley, and we're able to get it loose. Next thing we're about to do is take off the what's it, the shroud?
Yeah, the shroud, the fan shroud. It's already removed. We took the bolts off, the screws off right here, so this is ready to go. The fan, as I mentioned, is completely loose now. You can see it's just dangling down there. I don't know if you can see that, but
yeah, you see it.
All right, it's all just dangling down there now. But my God, was that the fight! And the vice grip. Without putting the vice grip onto the pulley, we would never. I'm telling you, we would never have gotten that thing off. So that's actually possibly the only trick that as far as for 3 hours almost, we've been trying to figure out how to get this thing off. We finally did it. Hopefully this is you know, helpful to you guys. And like I said, once we get the other piece, we're gonna get back to it and see about getting this thing together. See you soon. So we finally got the fan out with the clutch. So what we did here, we have the air conditioner lines obviously are in the way over here, and then it was a two-person job. That's why we had to shut the camera off this time. We disconnected the overflow for the radiator over here. That connected right to over here, right here, just like that, right, just like in there. Lifted up the entire shroud for the fan, and little by little, inch by inch, the damn thing was not, it fought all the ways. You can tell it's scraping everything as it's coming up on both sides. But we got the damn thing out. Now we're going to see about replacing it, and again, we'll get back to you when we get the new one.